got one that can see.
Let's go to the patent in question. Patent number 3239660, which is the patent that is cited as proof of NASA's Evil Sun Simulator, is viewable on NASA's Technical Report server as a PDF scan of the original document, and it can also be found on Google Patents, which is easy to read, so we'll use that. I recommend that you take the time to read this in its entirety to get a better understanding. But for
Saturday, December 9th, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 2017. Solar simulators. Here's one here at Google Patents. This goes back to 1960. The idea has been around for a long time, quite possibly even farther back than 1960. There's a diagram of a solar simulator patented back in April of 1966. I shared two images yesterday with you guys of photos of Crazy Horse Monument in South Dakota. In both photos, there was two independent photos. A hexagon appeared in the sky in the photos, and it was very obvious that it was definitely a hexagon, no doubt about it. Yes, I did make the connection with the solar simulator. I didn't say anything right off the bat because of what's going on at YouTube, but as it turned out, they ended up demonetizing my video anyway, so here it is. Yeah, I'm totally on board. It's pretty obvious this is what we're looking at. How it ended up in the sky above Crazy Horse Monument, I have no idea, but yes, I totally agree, guys. That's exactly, to a T, what this thing looks like. Perfect match. So what I've done is taken a lot of the photos that I showed you yesterday and put them up next to a what appears to be a solar simulator, and there you go. Perfect match. Looks like a honeycomb in the sky. There you have it. So yes, I'm totally on board, guys. There it is. It is in black and white. That's negative. There's your machine. So yeah, I totally agree with you. It's more than likely a solar simulator. Right there it is. There's the picture the guy took. His name's Jonathan. He didn't actually see it. He saw it in the photos after the fact. But the solar simulator theory and idea has been around probably before you and I arrived on planet Earth. There's a diagram right here of the idea. Thanks for watching, guys. And yes, I'm totally in agreement. That's what we're looking at here. Thanks for watching, and as always, be safe out there.
Okay, this video is in Acapulco. I'm going to slow it down to examine it. This is from May 26th. It's actually today. I thought it was yesterday, but it's for today. And we'll slow it down and take a look at it here. So here comes the sunset. Now the black dot there in the center is actually the center collector system, which is a focal point of the way the light is distributed out of the sun simulator. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the sun simulator, it's shaped like a big contact lens. There's a light source. That light source distributes the light throughout this super huge contact lens, sort of like a lens on your eye. And the light coming from the natural sun behind, as well as the artificial light being produced, is projected through that lens. And then, but what we see, because there's some equipment, I'm not exactly sure of its composition and stuff like that, but there's some stuff, let's put it that way, that's in the center of that assembly. If you ever looked at a radar dome, you see the same thing, or a big telescope system. What do they call those telescopes? I forget, but they have a center collector system, which all the light and electronic signals are coming in are refocused in the center unit. Well, this is the same thing in this case, but anyway, that's what that is. So we'll go frame by frame here. So I'm bringing it down. You have heavy chemtrailing there, you know. So you always have heavy chemtrailing in a sunset. They don't want you to see some of this stuff, okay? And it's starting to have an impact there. We're not seeing much of the so-called sun here anyway. If I go back here a second, if you see a funny shape on that, I don't know if you can make that out, but it's 6 or 8 sided. 6 clearly, 8 not so clearly, but it's that's the shape of the light being projected out of the lens. Not so much from the lens itself, which is circular, like a contact lens, but from the light source. The light source has got a shape like that, so that's what we see. When you don't have a lot of stray light out here, when it's being blocked by chem clouds and normal clouds, if there are any, which is very rare, you'll be able to see these edges more clearly. So that's what we're seeing there. Okay, let's move down. So we're moving down. Now it's getting heavy. See these heavy dark gray clouds here? They are there. It's like a smoke screen. If you ever saw the Navy lay down a smoke screen so ships can't see other ships, that's what that's like, except these are man-made clouds here. But they act like smoke. So it's really blind. So there is the sun. Now that's not the actual size of the sun. It's more indicative of the sun simulator. Usually, okay, so that right there, when you see that bright light, that's more indicative of the actual sun size. This bigger halo here is more or less the projection coming through that lens system. So when it was back up here, I'll go back up real quick. See, when you see it up here, and this is actually much reduced. If this were not so chemtrail today, this thing would be like this. It'd be huge. But today, because there's heavy chemtrailing, we're not seeing the full impact. But as it gets down here, That's really the sun. Okay, now I want you to watch this here. So here's the sun setting right here. You see it. It's going to be going beyond that mountain range. And in a moment, you're going to see an area over here which really gets bright. Okay, there it goes. So sunset is here. Notice this bright light out of here. Okay, what is that? Is that another sun? Also, look up here. What's going on up here? Well, we can't see specifically the areas as well as we could because of these heavy chemtrails. It's got much brighter though. You'll notice in general the sky, if it weren't for the chemtrails, as you see, it's much brighter than it was a moment ago. Now look at this area over here. What is this? Look at that. Whoa. Now, it was minutes ago that we saw the sun set over here. What is this? That's a sun simulator. So there's multiple sun simulators here at play. One is in front of the sun, and one is to the side. Sometimes they're in the back. See how big that is? Well, that's a massive source of light there, isn't it? Let me go back and show you real quick. I'm going backwards now, just for your memory. Okay, this was the sun, presumably, over here. So remember, it's in line here with this first big hump. Nothing over here. No sun over there. Now watch. It's like all hell broke loose over here. There's a whole, like either a nuclear explosion or another sun simulator. So it's already getting dark here. Now this will recede. And you'll notice remember we were back here. The sun actually set right there. What is this? So we'll play it through again, you'll see it. If you don't slow this thing down, you can't pick these things up, by the way. Notice this is a super fast because it's time lapse. There it goes. Whoa, over there. See that? That's all I got.
This is Alaska,
plain and simple.
Alaska.
Okay, check it out. It even gets bigger. Check this out. Pow. Okay? Watch this. Seems like there's a little bit of a separation going on. Could be multiple things going on here, like our real sun could be actually behind it. The real sun is always behind the sun simulator, just so you know. Look at this. So you went from this to this to this to that. Okay? And look at this. I mean,
Explain that.
It's just unbelievable. Okay? Unreal. Okay? Somewhat back to normal, I guess. Yeah. I'm going to filter a few things too, just to check on anything else back there. Okay? But look at this, man. It's just craziness. Yeah. And then they just threw some clouds in just to get rid of it.
Hi, how are you all doing? I just wanted to talk a little bit and add a little bit of context to some of these videos of what I've been showing. The last one was, mainly on the sun simulator, the little black dot there. It's a hexagon. I mean, plain and simple, it's a hexagon. It's, it's captured on the water, it's seen on the ice. We know that the big fiery gas ball that we know is the sun is not a hexagon. I think we're all aware of that. I'm going to post a couple pictures of the patent. That was actually, this is 1966, 67 technology. This is when they discovered it, but I'm not talking about IRAS and when they discovered it and, how long they lied to us, and it's been too long, way too long. What I want to talk about is the rotation. if you look at the videos, I mean, you can track any feature on it from the center of the planet to the backside. So when that feature, whatever feature you're looking at, when it disappears, that's 1/4 of the rotation, which is going to be 2 hours. So we know that this thing's making a full spin every 8 hours. And we also know that it's impossible, it is literally impossible to be a reflection that's caused by the sun. The sun rotates in 27 days. The sun does cast reflections, but those reflections are not going to rotate in 8 hours. And here's the kicker. I mean, I encourage you guys to go look at the Final Days channel if you haven't already. I'm sure some of you have. A year ago, this object was rotating in 5 hours. Now it's 8 hours. So what happened? It slowed down. So you know what that means. You know, but we're going to let the facts speak for themselves here. I just wanted to add a little bit of context. Thank you all. God bless.
Welcome to the Final Days channel. Today is November 2nd, 2021. Today you will be seeing some really exciting footage of celestial objects, some that I've never seen before. And I've been doing this for a few years now. These images just came in from the FAA weather cameras yesterday. Now most of them are Alaska. I think one of them is Colorado. The purpose of this channel is to show viewers that we are living in the very last days according to the Holy Bible. We will start with some images from Wolf Creek Pass, and as we go through these images, please note the very, very heavy use of atmospheric chemicals in order to hide an enormous celestial object that is rotating across the sky in this footage. As these celestial objects get closer and closer to the Earth, they become much harder to hide with any of the concealment technology currently in place. They are now close enough to affect Earth's tectonic plates, which has caused a sharp increase in earthquakes and volcanic activity all around the world, which I think most of us are very well aware of by now. And really, this affects everything. Our magnetosphere, our jet stream, and these in turn are causing wild and extreme weather that we are all seeing in different parts of the world. These older images from Good News Bay, Alaska, are a great example of how the atmospheric chemicals can be so thick they actually cast shadows upon the sky. Notice how this starts out as one single streak. Ten minutes later, it spreads out a little. Now these frames are all 10 minutes apart. In another 10 minutes, the chemicals have fanned out halfway across the view of this camera. 10 minutes later, the chemicals are still spreading out until they have created a thin film across the sky. In Thorn Bay, Alaska, a total eclipse of the sun is occurring here. These happen many times per day. Here we see the center of the manufactured light, the black dot, casting a reflection upon the water. On the right side of this image, we see a reflection of the jet that is always present during these eclipses. As the eclipse progresses, you will note an impossibility. It is entirely impossible that our sun could actually move in front of objects that are eclipsing it in these videos. Very hidden in the atmospheric chemicals, we see the object that just eclipsed the sun. The manufactured light moves in front of these objects, while the real sun passes behind the object, completely concealing these many daily solar eclipses. When we replay these images with contrast added, we see more than one celestial object being hidden. We also see the sky lenses at work here, because there is a striped celestial object that appears to jump from one location to another. We also see some technology being used to skew our view of the striped object, causing it to appear elliptical in one of these frames. The smoke and mirrors used to hide what's coming is implemented by technology many, many, many years ahead of anything that we, the common people, are allowed to know about. If we draw a straight line from the reflection of the concealment jet to the black dot center of the manufactured light, the object being hidden always falls upon that line. I've never seen an exception to this. In the Bible's book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25, Jesus tells us that we will see signs in the sky when the end of the age is near. These are definitely signs. If these aren't, I don't know what is.
In my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in. You got to catapult the propaganda. You got to catapult the propaganda.
We'll talk about a fish story. Man, and they're buying it.
Outbreak of the deadly Pandora virus is spreading rapidly. One day, Jesus is coming. You may be at church. You may be at work. You may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance. My God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready.